What is going on, you guys? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. So this week, Toyota USA sent me the 2018 4Runner TRD Off-Road. It is an amazing SUV. I'm really excited to show you guys my week with the car. Now, the first thing I did was take this thing off-roading. I mean, it has an off-road badge. That's the first thing people want to know is it off-road capable? Is it worthy of having that off-road TRD badge on the vehicle? And I will show you guys that at the end of the video. So be sure to stay tuned to the end to see this thing get put through its paces. But if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. I have tons of great content and I upload every single week, so be sure you guys stay tuned for that. Now, since there already are so many reviews on the 4Runner since 2015, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a very quick look at the inside. You guys know what the 4Runner looks. It hasn't changed very much, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so getting to the 4Runner is really easy. Here is your key. It's just a standard basic key. You don't get any kind of an advanced key or anything like that. So your lock and unlock is on here. You can press that to get into the car, or you can put the key in the slot, old school way, and open the door that way. Also, if you come to the back, you do have your window, which does roll down, so you can stick this in the key slot, turn it to the left and hold it. That'll roll your window down. Turn it to the right and hold it. That'll go up. All right, starting with the door, you've got a really big door. So you have leather all right here, red contrast stitching. You can have all of your window controls, door locks, mirror controls are going to be right over here. Door handle, a little bit of storage space here, storage space down here, which is pretty large. Your 4Runner TRD off-road mats. All of your controls for your seat. Pretty supple, soft. Now this is going to be faux leather. It's not the real leather. I believe you got to go up to the TRD Pro to get the real leather. But you have red stitching going all along the side. Your TRD embossed in the headrest. Let's go ahead and hop in. So shutting the door on the 4Runner. Nice solid shut. Of course, when you open it, it's got a nice click to it as well. Here's a look at the interior. All right, and so to start the car, old school, you got to put it in here. I do wish it had push start. I really don't think the push start would kind of take away from the ruggedness of this car. I just think it would really just add a little bit more convenience, but there's your startup. So now everything's pretty simple. So your steering wheel is huge. It's a big steering wheel. It feels very like freighted leather off to the side, smooth leather up top and on bottom. Over here to the left, you have all your controls for your media. So you can use that to go, this will basically fast forward your tunes. This up and down is to skip through your tunes. Select your back button, your different modes for like AM, FM, XM radio. Volumes down here. I really like the volume because with my hands right here when I'm driving, I can easily just reach over and hit that with my thumb. I actually really love that placement. Over here to the right, I do have my phone commands for my Bluetooth, voice commands, my display, so I can click this and flip through all of these things right here, which is pretty neat. So I've been averaging about 16.3 miles a gallon. The gauge cluster is very simplistic. The left you have your tach, over to the right your speedometer. It has a really nice light up at night. I really like the simplicity of it. No automatic lights, no automatic wipers, but you do have your stocks over here for those things as well. Your mirrors, like we pointed out, were right there. Right next to that you have your interior lighting, your wipers, all kinds of different things right here on the bottom. Coming up, you have your vents. You do have hard touch plastic up here. So this is all going to be hard touch all up here. A digital clock right there, your hazards. Now you do have a very small screen here. It's probably about the size of my fist. It is really small. It does respond pretty well, actually. It really has everything you would need. It's just getting used to the smallness of it. All right, so shutting the door on the 4Runner, very solid shut. Even the click when you open it is really nice. Give you guys a look at the inside. Now to start the car, you do have to do it the old school way by sticking the key in the slot. So I'm gonna stick the key right in there. I do wish for the price point, so this car's around 41,000 and some change, almost 42 grand. So I do wish it did have push start. I really don't think push start would take away from the off-roading experience at all. I mean, I do get why they did the traditional key to kind of keep with that simplicity, but in all reality, I feel like push start would just be a better convenience. Pretty nice startup. You can definitely hear that clutch fan when you start it up. Now, starting off with the steering wheel, it's really, really big, very, very truck-like. So over to the side, you're gonna have perforated leather, smooth leather up top. Now over to the left, you're gonna have all of your selection directions, your enter button right in the middle, your back button, your mode, so you can select between AM, FM, XM. I do love the placement of the volume button, so if I have my hand just resting here, all I have to do is reach my thumb over and it's in a very, very nice place. I really like the placement of that. Over here you have your Bluetooth commands, so your phone buttons, your voice commands, your display button, which is going to control your display right in the middle. You can swap through there and then see all of your different settings. Been averaging about 16.3 miles per gallon, which isn't awful, but it's also not the best. Tachometer to the left, speedometer to the right, and then of course your fuel and then your water temperature up there as well as well as what gear you're in. So if I click to reverse, I'm going to have my backup camera, which comes up. Really, really small screen, about the size of like my fist. So very, very small. You put that in park. Of course, it goes right away. I'll get back to that in just a second. But over here, you are going to have your mirror controls. So your mirror controls right here, your interior lighting. Moving up, you do have your vents, kind of hard touch plastic all along the dash, all the way over there. You have this weird piece that kind of sticks out. I'm not sure what it is. It is pretty strange. It's just very, very blocky. Everything in here is very blocky and chunky. Even the knobs are absolutely massive. Massive, massive knobs. And the funny part is, you would think that they would have a really, really solid click, but they're actually very, very easy to turn. I just feel like the way they look, how big they are, they would have this really tight feedback to them, but they're not. They're just super, super light. Now up here, of course, your hazards, a digital clock right up there. Like I said, the screen's pretty small. You have your phone here, phone button, your eject button, so you still have a CD player. Coming below that, you're going to have, of course, your fan speed, your recycling, your rear defrost, your AC, your different zones, your temperature right over here. Coming down below, you're going to have a USB and auxiliary area here, 12-volt area right in there, a little storage space here and a little bit of storage space right there. You do still have a manual selector to go from high 2, high 4. So high 4, I'll just put it back like that. To go into low 4 though, I have to put it into neutral, and at that point I can shift it into 4 low, shift it back, put it back in park, and then I can shift it to high 2 again. Now you do have another area here. You can probably put coins or quarters or stack them up right there. This area is pretty neat. I love the cup holders on here. They're definitely big enough to fit your drinks. They're very, very out of the way. So when you open and close things, when you shift the gear shifter, the cups are completely out of the way. So I really, really like the placement of that. I even like the placement of this little area in front of the rear cup holder. You can probably put like a bag of chips or probably put like your wallet or something there. It's big enough to fit those items. It's pretty neat. Your seat warmers on both sides. A button here for your rear window, so when you push that, your rear window goes up and down. I love that feature. It's great, especially if you have dogs or anything like that. You can stick them in the back, which is really cool. The armrest is very, very wide, easy to rest my arm on. If I lift that up, really deep storage space in there. You have another 12-volt. You have an area here for tissues. Not sure what you would use tissues for. Comment below what you guys would use this tissue area for. But that's pretty neat. Auto dimming mirrors. Now right up here, you're going to have your switches for your crawl control. Over here to the left, you can select your speed, hit on right in the middle to turn it on. Over here you have your terrain selector, so you're gonna hit on in the middle, and then once you hit on, you can select between your different modes up here The lighting's kind of funny right now, so I do apologize, guys, but you do have that there. Above that, you have your locking rear diff right there, your automatic traction control, so your 8-track, your traction control off right there. Your home link is going to be right above that. Of course, your interior lighting, which you can adjust right there. These are going to be for your moonroof, which I currently have open just because it's very, very hot here in Texas today, even though it's 8 o'clock. Still about 95 degrees or so. Hold that to close it. And of course, your visors with your light up top. And yeah, super simplistic. That's pretty much it, you guys. So we'll go ahead and check out the back seat. All right, guys, I do apologize. My tripod is kind of messed up right now, so I'm not able to use it. But coming to the back, you do have a decent amount of storage pockets on the top and on the bottom. Now, hopping in, you do have a little bit of a higher step-in height. Now, sitting back here, you do sit up higher than you do in the front seats. So you feel like you're looking down on the front seat. So this is right at my line of sight, and this is exactly what I see. So it's a little bit higher. You definitely feel like you're looking down on the drivers. It's a pretty weird experience. But back here, as you can see, my knee is almost to the top of this seat, if that gives you any idea of how high you sit back here. You do have, of course, mat pockets behind each seat. You've got your vents here. You are going to have two 12 volts down here. Now my feet fit underneath pretty well. Definitely have pretty good leg room behind here, and this is behind my seating position. I'm 6 feet tall. All the materials back here are pretty good, leather and everything like that. Two cup holders back here. Nice padded armrest. Of course, you do have your interior lighting. You have your handles back here, your hooks, so if you have dry cleaning, anything like that. And you also can recline the seat, so right back here, you're going to have a little latch, and you pull that latch to make the seat recline backwards, and I'll get out so you guys can see, since you don't have a visual of me, but that's how far back you can recline the seat if this will focus. It's pretty significant. I'll try to give you guys a better view. Sorry once again about not having that tripod. But yeah, so that's about it for the second row. We'll go ahead and check out the trunk. All right, so coming to the back of the 4Runner, you do have a very generous amount of cargo space. You even have this little almost tray-like floor that kind of pulls out. Really, really neat. You can definitely use this thing for like picnics, all kinds of different neat things that you can really utilize that for. Another cool thing is you do have a little area that's underneath the middle. You can pull that up, and it's got a pretty deep amount of space, so you can probably stick a few smaller items in there, lock them in there, and they won't roll around and things like that. Now over off to the sides, you are going to have a little bit of space off to the left. Over to the right, you actually have a little cubby that's pretty deep and can hold a good amount of stuff. Now, speaking of holding stuff, I was able to make a Sam's run and stick a ton of things in the back. It fit perfectly. All right, so as you guys can see, everything fit with absolute ease, and I still have plenty of room to spare. I could have stacked some more upwards if I needed to, or even put stuff in the front seat. There is so much space in this car. It's crazy. And of course, the hatch will shut. And there you go. All right, so coming underneath the hood of the 4Runner, you are going to have a 4-liter V6. It's the same V6 they've used for a long time. You even have this V6 found in the FJ Cruiser that you guys are going to see a little bit later. But in this application, it's going to make 270 horsepower, 276 pound-feet of torque. Very clean engine bay. Of course, this is a brand new car, but everything is very well spaced out. So if you needed to work on this engine, it is very easy to get to everything, which is very, very nice. This is mated to a 5-speed automatic. So we'll go ahead and get it on the trails and see how it does. All right, so starting the day, doing a little off-roading with my first FJ. Show you guys around his FJ Cruiser. Now here's the 4Runner. As you can tell, number one thing right off the bat is the tires. We even brought along a Sequoia TRD Sport. But cool, guys, should be exciting. Got a little water crossing here about to go over. So yeah, let's get to it. You made it?
Good.
You just bopped down a little bit.
I think it was just the transmission.
Dude, I'm shocked. I didn't think he was gonna make that.
This is gonna look awesome when he goes into the water. Alright, so after a very long day of throwing these cars around, we decided to go out and visit my buddy Frank over at New Image Auto Detailing. They do a fantastic job of making your car look absolutely pristine. Not only are they incredibly good at detailing vehicles, but they do a great job as far as wraps, quartz wraps, just making sure that your car is able to be protected from any kind of rocks, scratches, or prevent any future scratches. So if you really love to take care of your vehicle and you live in the DFW Metroplex, be sure to reach out to them. Their link is in my description box, so you can click that and it'll take you straight to their website. Fantastic fantastic company. They'll even travel out to your house if you live in the DFW Metroplex. Very, very nice, and they'll have your car looking just as good as the FJ and the 4Runner. Now, the one thing I do want to mention before I end this video, there is one big thing I did not like about the 4Runner, and that's probably the lighting. Now, the projector beams do a pretty good job, but out here where I live at in Fort Worth, Texas, they are kind of dim. I'm just so used to a lot of cars having the LEDs. The only LEDs on here are on the back, and they don't really do anything. It's just more for looks. But the actual headlight themselves are pretty okay. They don't give you a ton of light. You really have to drive mostly with the high beams on. But other than that, the car was absolutely fantastic. It does exactly what Toyota has created it to do, and any car that is able to accomplish what it was built to accomplish is a fantastic car. Not only is it reliable, not only does it have tons of room, but this is the most capable off-roading vehicle in the mainstream SUV class right now. The only thing I personally would do different to it is I would add the upgraded TRD wheels and the tires, and you can also get the blacked out badges as an extra package on top of the off-road premium. I would definitely go for that. It's basically giving you a TRD Pro for a couple $1,000s less. But guys, I really hope y'all appreciated and enjoyed this review. I had a lot of fun filming it for you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. But thank you guys for watching, and y'all take care.